Hey guys, so today's video will be about the Snapchat like menu where we have the scrolling feature to navigate between different view controllers. The videos that I found online were mostly made using the zip or the nib format, but I wanted to use for my own project with the view controller format, so I did a little bit of research and found some which I am sharing with you guys. So I will be posting two videos. One will have the view controller format and the other one will have the nib format. You're free to use either of the videos. The codes are with those videos. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me anything. And most of all, enjoy the video. Have fun. In order to create a project from the start, we first open a XCODE and click on the create a new XCODE project and select the single view application from the menu. Because we won't be using any code data on this, we unselect this and we just name this one as snap like, and we just hit next, select the location where we will be saving. I will be saving on the desktop, and yes, that's it. And the other thing is, we would be using this one as just portrait, not the landscape, so we will unselect it from the menu. And once we have done that, we go into the main storyboard. We will see that there is a view that is currently empty. So this will be the main view that will have all the other 3 views or 4 views, however many views we need inside a scroller. So we need to find scroll view. Oh, my bad. So we need to find a scroll view and we need to put it here. Once done, we need to use the constraints so that when we actually put the views inside it, they don't go out of the scene. We use command select equal height equal width, center horizontally, center vertically with the container, and we hit enter. So once done, we can see that the constraints are in place. If we hit run right now, this will definitely run, but as the scroll view doesn't have anything inside it, it won't show anything. It will just show a white screen. But it's always a good practice to do that so that we know from the start that the project doesn't have any kind of faults, which might later be very difficult to find, because if that's the case, we can just start with a new slate. So hopefully there, yeah. So as we can see, this is empty. We cannot see anything inside it. Now we can do any kind of scrolling, but we will take care of that very soon. So after that, we start with adding multiple views. Like in this project, I'll be using 3 views, and we will be using the view 2 as a center view and the view 1 as the left, view 3 as the right view. So we start by adding a new Swift file, which we will call view 1, just in our case. So that will be a Cocoa Touch file in this, and we'll call it view 1, although it's not a good practice to name them like this because it's a very generic name. And because in this one we will not be using the nib files at all, so we do not check this one and just hit next, and we save it, and we do the same for the other 2 views. So once we are done with adding the 3 view controllers for the 3 different views that we'll be adding shortly, we go on to the main storyboard, and It's a small laptop, so I need to close the side windows. Sorry about that. So yeah, once we are here, we drag simple views and place them on the screen. You can actually add any kind of views for this, like these are just basically containers for your content. So you can add table view, you can add any other kind of view. Yeah. So once the views are in the place, we need to be able to see them, and we are actually going to load them inside the main program, because all these are white, so we cannot actually see them once they're there. So in order to do that, we need to change the background color to just any random color. I will just do that. Okay. And also, just to make it clear, we will add 3 labels so that it shows which screen we are actually seeing right now. Just call this one add constraint so that it doesn't stray from the screen. The guiding lines are always a good idea to use, because they actually aid in when you try to put like in this one I didn't use it properly. After editing the label, this one kind of strayed from the center. If I move this, you will see this thing. Yeah, see, if it moved towards the right. So if I did add automatic constraints, such kind of errors happen, and this is not a good thing. So we will clear all constraints and we'll add the missing constraints again, and this time you see that all the constraints are there properly. Okay, all done. So after doing this, we need to attach these views with the classes that we created earlier, so that when we call them, or when we want to use place content inside these, we can actually use those. View one. We'll just give this one a unique identifier, call it v1. This one we'll call see, there's a difference. If I click inside this view, this is just a view, and if I click here, this is a view controller. So we need to click on this bezel. Okay, so now everything is in place. Now we just need to head over to the view controller, just double checking. We need to head over to the main view controller that we created when we created this project, this one, and we need to start putting in all the code that we just need to put in order to use the code as Snapchat like view. Okay, so let's start by adding the first view controller. Because we have not told anything about the view control being inside any. So let's start here in the view controller by adding the code for the views that we just added. So here what we have done is we are adding a variable called v1 that will contain the view that we just created and instantiate it. And we are instantiating it using the unique identifier that we gave. In our case, it was for view1, it was v1 capital V. This has to match perfectly, otherwise there will be errors. Controller. Okay, and we'll just, oh, and we need to do one more thing before we move forward. So we need to attach the scroll view that we added to the main view inside our code. I'll just call it scroll view. And this will be an outlet, and we just connect it. Okay. So once we have done that, we need to use this variable to attach the view that we created with the code that we like. Okay. So this line of code just added the view 1 into the main view as a child view controller. And with this line, we added the v1's view inside the scroll view as a view. Did move to view controller. Yeah, here we go. Because we are the parents, so we'll just call it self. And the next line will be v1.view.frame equals, wait, what happened? Okay, scroll view dot bounds. So we are setting the bounds as the scroll views bound for the view that we just created. And we will do exactly the same thing for the other 3 views. Although this is never a good practice to control and paste the code, because this is repetitive code, but being a tutorial, I'm not really bothering about that. I would have done a different approach if this was not a tutorial. So what happens is, if we were to copy and paste and we forgot to change the values here properly, this would create bugs that are very, very subtle to observe, and it's not easy to find them. So it's not a good practice to do copy paste, but I'm lazy. Let's do that right now. Okay, so we have done this thing. Now we need to do one more thing. Addition. See, there are bugs here. We didn't see. Okay, now, yeah, all good. So now, because this was a first view, now we will have to do something a little bit different for the second and the third view. What we are going to do is we are going to add frames. frame, yeah. And we're going to set its origin so that when the views are loaded in the system onto the main view, it knows where its position would be in reference to that. Okay, so now the view tools frame is set according to the code that we just set here, and we'll do the same thing for the view 3 also. Oh, and one more thing, we need to tell that the frame for this one would be twice of the size from the X, so that it doesn't actually overlap the other view. Because if we didn't do this, try downloading the code and try removing this one and put 1 instead, and see that view 3 actually overlaps the view 2, because view 3 was coded later, so it will actually be um, like it will be there, but it will hide the view 2. View 2 will also be there, and view 3 also will be there, but this is just gonna happen like that. So once we are done with this, we are going to tell the scroll view that what its entire frame's content size is going to be, and just to put cherry on top of the cake, we'll do that view 2 starts the program starts on the view 2, not on the view 1. We will set its offset. So let's do that. Content size. So wait, let me do that. There we go. Content size. We'll give it a size. Size make size. Yeah, size make, and we will give it dimensions. We're going to place it inside. This is always a good practice. And because we have 3 views, not 1, so we will be multiplying it by 3. View dot frame dot height. Okay. So the reason I multiplied 3 on the width, not the height, is because we want to move the like the snapshot moves from left to right, not from top to bottom. So this is the reason why I added onto the width, not onto the height. And the last thing, let's set the offset. Okay, so just to double check, we have added all three views. We have set the content size for the scroll view, and we have also told that scroll view would have its offset at the point described like this. This is basically the one means skip one view and start from the second. The X moves the width of one view. And yeah, that's it. Let's, fingers crossed, let's see if it runs. Okay, so here we have all the three views in scroll pattern, and you can see that it's scrolling from left to right, not right top to bottom. And the other thing is, like, see, if we stopped it like this, we can see both 1 and 2. So just so that this doesn't happen, we have to enable paging. So we go back to the main storyboard, and from the side we open this, select the scroll view, and we select paging enabled, and that's that. And when, let's run it again. Yeah, so this time if we left it midway, it will actually go on to the side. Whichever is more visible, it will give precedence to that. So I will be posting this code in the link below. Enjoy the code. If you have any more doubts or any questions regarding this video, let me know. Enjoy and have a fun day.